And how can we come to such a point? Then we know that this is the goal. So Trinada Pisa Nichina, Tarora Pisa Hishna, Amanina Manarena, Kirtanya Saravari. One should be very humble. One should be more humble than a blade of grass, and more tolerant than a tree. And one should be devoid of all sense of false prestige, and ready to offer all respect to others. In such a state of mind, we can chant the holy name always. So we know the goal. We read it. We can sometimes I have just reflected on that. And Srila Prabhupada says in Bhagavad Gita, it's Krishna consciousness, one can have it immediately. It's a simple question of understanding and accepting the fact. Okay, understanding and accepting the fact. Okay, I have the fact, I am Krishna's servant. And then, so why am I not Krishna? What is the problem here, you know? So, it's all these anarthas, all these impure things which stopping us. But if we try our best, we pray to Krishna, I want this. And like Vasudev, I think Vasudev was that the person who had so much compassion? Vasudev. He prayed to Lord Chaitanya and said, I decide three things. That is, I desire pure devotional service, compassion for all living entities, and friendship with the devotees. These three things. So, if we don't have that desire, we should desire to have that desire. Because we understand that Krishna consciousness is the best, it's the goal of life. So we should desire this. But it's hard on our false ego and all this. So, but if we follow the process and if we always try to be sincere and try to get our heart into it, we will get this higher taste of being the servant of the servant. And then we can leave behind the desire for material enjoyment, these lower desires. We're like done with it. We have like it also says in Bhagavad Gita, Yehi samsparsha jabhava tukayvana evate adi antavantakanteya natishu ramate da. Yes, that's an intelligent person does not take pleasure in sources of misery, which arise from contact of the which arise from contact with the senses.
Senses and the sense objects.
Huh?
Sense objects.
Yeah, arise from contact with the sense objects, sense gratification. So, because he knows that such pleasures has a beginning and an end, so he doesn't delight in that. So that's the goal, and then we become more and more free from these anarthas, although we have all these habits, this, the speculation and everything. I must say that to preach actually, especially is the tendency to think and speculate so much, then preaching really, knocks off that. Somehow by preaching, it's like you get the reality. The reality comes very clear. When you meet people on the street, you talk with them, they immediately tell you where you are, and you just have to surrender. You just have to serve, actually. You just have to serve Krishna. Following the instructions, yes, go every day, telling them about Krishna, and then let's just see what's happening. Because sometimes we think that, what I say, I should say this and that, but it doesn't. We're not the controllers. So this, when we meet people, we really have to surrender, and that's also a very good way to get this higher taste. To get this taste of serving Krishna. Because we might, otherwise if we do other things, we're not so forced sometimes to surrender. So for me, I made it a point to just what I heard, like going out, meeting people once a week. That was like a very good instruction for me, and I think it's very valuable because it's so much fear there, to meet people and to just. But this fear is just an obstacle. It's actually illusory. It's because of attachment. It might also be because Kamsa is ruling this society. So of course we're a little afraid of Kamsa. But there is actually no reason to fear. Krishna is with us, and we can realize, especially that when we preach, how actually this world will become Krishna conscious. Like in Norway, which we make so many members. In Norway, you heard about it, that in Norway we get money from the government for every member we have. So we make members on the street. They're like positive, you like Krishna, so please, why don't you also become a member? And when we do, immediately when you make a member, you feel like Krishna's please. It's special. And I think these people actually will become members. The state gives us like 700 kroner for every person a year. I think these people get the credit for giving these 700 kroner. It seems like something, because immediately when they sign to member, they become very happy. You can just feel that happiness. It's just so much happiness there. And then they bless us. Good luck with your, describing all the people here. Making them members of the Krishna consciousness movement. So, preaching really gives taste and also realizations. We all know that Prabhupada is very pleased when we can give out some books. Help conditioned souls. And it's also so pleasure when you meet a person on the street and you see that I can help this person. This person needs help. You connect and you see that this person is on a lower level than you, needs help very much in time with material energy. Start to feel compassion, and then they can appreciate, the help. Thank you very much for your attention. Any comments or questions?
How many members now?
No?
Yeah.
When we came to start at the temple, when I came back from Mayapur, there were already 80 members there, collected for many years. And now just during this, until now, and it really took up maybe in May, I would say. Then now we have 130 new members. So if we continue like this, we can make we can get a lot of money from the state, from the government.
Money from Kamsha.
Yes, money from Kamsha. They want to be liberal just to keep people quiet. So, yes.
You talked about this, that when you approach people, it's not so much what you say, but often we have this idea, oh, I should say this, or oh no, I didn't say it right, maybe next time I'll say this instead. But it's just like if you have conviction, if you have satisfaction and detachment and compassion, then you don't really have to say a whole lot. You can just let people, they just want it.
It's true. I have been meditating often on the instructions, like we hear that Chaitanya Mahabhavi said, whoever you meet, tell them about Krishna, and ask them to chant Krishna's name. So sometimes, like on the street, sometimes I think, now I have good sentences. I talk about, everything here is temporary, and there's something eternal. And it consists of both, So it's like, but sometimes it doesn't hit, it becomes like a phrase, you say it again and again. And then I just start to talk about Krishna, you see here is Krishna, here is Radha, here is Krishna. Krishna is the source of everything. We are part of him, We should, it's natural for us to serve him, to love him. And immediately, I'm not the doer. Krishna is taking care. Often use pictures, point at the pictures. It's nice. Anything else? Yes.
When you talk directly about Krishna, what kind of responses do you get?
They just they accept it because if I think that they don't like Krishna, if I say Krishna, whoa, then they back off. But they appreciate that we are direct and tell them about what it's about very clearly. And sometimes you meet people they thought about these things already. So they appreciate that you just say the truth without being attached. Because we just follow instruction. Tell them about Krishna, okay? We tell them about Krishna. Because sometimes I think, I'm also saying I'm a monk from the Krishna temple, and if somebody, I don't want this. Okay, then good. These people I'm finished with that immediately. I don't have to spend time with him. Because why does he say, I don't want this? Then it's because he's a person I don't really want to talk with. So I don't think, I said too much, I've fried him away. I don't think so. Yes.
I would say that maybe sometimes you may not tell them about Krishna directly, but that you may let them know you're a monk, you're engaged in spiritual life, and here is a book, because it's a I find that if it, I mean, I agree with the point that you gotta be small, but sometimes if it doesn't work, you can just tell them and give them the book, and they will find out about Krishna through the book.
Because there might be so many, what do you call them, maybe,
Prejudices.
prejudices.
I don't know here, but maybe in some places, you know, like, you know, it's not even places, I think it's people, you know, you can see them. There's like speaking with them, sometimes you can tell, you know, that this person is very, so. But just by being dressed as a devotee, they already know that it's something spiritual, something to do with God.
Especially if you go like this. I don't go like this. I don't know. I wear tea like that.
It makes a big difference if you're dressed as a devotee. It's already, you know, like when I was coming here also in the airport, and I can see people, I can hear people in the background noise of Hare Krishna. So even without you saying anything, you're already telling them about Krishna.
Yeah, it's preaching.
Yeah. So what you are, if you are doing book distribution, and if you are dressed in civilian cloth, you're only preaching to one person at a time. But if you are wearing your Vaishnava dress, it's all the people that are walking past, they are seeing you. And now we are so, like, you know, not so much part of the world that people don't even know. The thing is, the people come to me and say, "What are you?" I say, "Hare Krishna," because they have forgotten. It's been like the devotees don't go out anymore dressed as devotees so much. So, you're Buddhist. This is Buddhism, and so many people think it's good because the Buddhists go out.
Yeah.
In some Buddhist monks, they still. So I think it's important.
But what about one has to feel comfortable, like in Vaishnava dress. If the people say, "I don't want," and you feel like, "Oh, it's my dress."
How long will it last? How long will it last, that feeling? I mean, if you do it, you'll probably find that. The other day I went to do some Hindu, it was one funeral, so the devotee invited me and I went there dressed with dhoti. So when I came back, I was going to the city centre in England, in Manchester. And to be honest, one of my main reservations to not wear dhoti, is that you stand out so much more with the dhoti. And I thought maybe the council people or the police, or they're going to do something, they're going to stop me from doing this. So I was hesitant, and I stay out with my dhoti. And the first person I met, he just gave me like a large donation out of the blue without missing anything, just because I was dressed as a devotee. And all day long I was meeting people that were very, very favorable. So even we may think that we're not going to be comfortable, but when we go out and we see how people are responding to us by being dressed as devotees, then we immediately think, well, this is good, it's better. That's been my experience lately. I didn't used to go out so much in devotee cloth because the weather was not so good. But lately I have been doing it, and it's making a big difference. Big. And because people are now more receptive than ever before to spirituality. Yeah, they're so much interested. They're fried, they're depressed, they're frustrated, they're looking for alternatives. And they see someone dressed like this, or what is it? Can I have one of those? They even come to you. What are those books? How much is it? It's 100. Yeah. If I give you some money, can I have the books stashed on the floor in a box, and I'm standing. Someone come. If I give you, can I have one of those books? And they're really excited, They say, of course. Oh, how much is it? That didn't happen to me when I was dressed as a civilian, It was just because you are dressed as a devotee. Now, like nice not looking like a, properly dressed as a devotee also. Looking okay, not looking weird.
I think the front of the door thing, I think always looks weird. Why don't they have some normal suit border on the door? Why always this freaking small, this out?
That's okay.
It goes like this, I feel a little strange actually. I feel like
That looks fine.
this looks strange.
It looks fine. It looks okay to me. It's other way to wear it also, Yeah. But I think, this is, I don't say nothing. Sometimes we can, because nowadays, people, the heavy metal people, the rockers, the homosexuals, so many different people, they are dressed up according to their ideas, and they are accepted, Why shouldn't we,
Yeah. No.
And they're looking really weird, some of these people, and the new fashion and the hairstyle. We saw that the other day, that guy with Sika like this,
But they also want attention,
Yeah.
We can also, for Krishna, we can want attention.
Yeah.
But if we're not so Krishna conscious, if we get all this attention, it's feel like, I don't want all this attention.
I am the same. Now when I started wearing this, I can see people are looking at me all the time, and I don't like it. I'm shy. My nature is to be a little shy. But then I thought, it's just funny that only these people are spending like thousands of pounds to get their attention. And we just need to put a dot, it goes like 400 rupees, and everybody's looking at you, everybody, right? And talking about you. So, and it's good because, it's good in the sense that you're saying that, you're reminding people of Krishna, that's all. Yes, if they chant Krishna's name once, that's the beginning. And if they appreciate, they're nice. That Adho Shraddha, that's the beginning.
I had the hand before.
Oh, sorry.
Yes.
No, it was just I had this girlfriend in Japan, Gita Govinda, before. She's still distributing books. She's like 50 or something now. But she used to distribute for 20 years. Every day she was distributing 100 Bhagavad Gitas. And she went out in a sari in Japan, and people gave them so much money, and they even washed the money before they gave it. But they thought that it was a Buddhist tradition. So she said not so many joined the temple because they probably got a shock when they came home and read it. But like you were saying, she dressed like in very fancy, beautiful saris, but also like very decent way. It is like the simple way is very attractive if you're just clean and nice. I think sometimes a little bit in our society, the dress has become like a whole issue. Like when we see in Prabhupada's time, the Matatis and the Prabhus, they dressed, they were happy but simple and clean and nice. But maybe it was a little hippie style, sometimes, but the simplicity was there. And nowadays it seems like everything has to be like so fancy, like this has to fit with this and this, you should look clean and nice and maybe even iron your clothes or straighten it out like that, so we don't look, we look elegant, but just sometimes, you understand what I mean, that especially some attitudes say they I don't know what has come out of our movement, that should also be careful not to use this dress as a complete new fashion to attract the attention. Like too much of the opposite sex, especially.
But we're growing. Sometimes I think Krishna consciousness is, first there was like an inner circle, now it's expanding. It's expanding more and more. Greater circles of the society is implemented. You know, like when I was in Lithuania, I see people just strolling, a couple, you know, strolling, you know, back and around, you know, just somewhat like, you know, people walking on the walking street, showing off, you know. They're part of our society also.
You mean the bodies?
Or more like, you know, congregational. They like it, they like Krishna consciousness, they're favorable. So that's where they are, you know. I'm just thinking. There's it's also part of Krishna's society, you know. People who wants to. You know,
But that's why I would say that's why there is so much need of training and education.
yeah.
And that's what we were talking about yesterday, that, you know, if you are part of the Hare Krishna movement, or if you are connected with it, you know, you have to behave like a gentleman, like a lady.
Just
Otherwise,
like-
that is a disgrace that some people may be associated with the Krishna consciousness movement and don't behave properly, because that gives a false image, you know, of us. Or well, of Prabhupada's message. You know, we are in many ways responsible for spreading all the glories of the fame of Prabhupada.
Shiva said I was in Mayapur and 500 Indians were around the Harinam party, and there were some many Madhyatis like dressed like really, I would say, in a very loose way. And I don't want to be prejudiced or, you know, I'm happy they're chanting Hare Krishna, but it's just that if you stand there with your husband, an elderly Indian couple from Calcutta, coming to Mayapur to get a spiritual experience, and then these Indian men who are used to decent wives and families, and then they come and see their Western girls, you know, like full stomach and everything like that. Then, and also the brahmacharis told me in the Harinam party that it was very difficult for them to do the Harinam, to keep focused like that. So it's not only the Madhyatis fault or anything, but this, like you're saying, this training is just because when you get that attention and you get this love and feedback, you don't need all of these things. It's just some kind of little misunderstanding also.
Okay. I think we'll talk more about it after class.
This is one of the topics for the seminar.
Yeah.